Be night shift security guard. Work in a nice office building in a nice neighborhood. Always just me and one other guard in the entire building. Literally no crime, no problems. Basically just fuck around on the internet all night. Only have cameras on first floor and parking lot, so if you're on any other floor, you can do whatever. It's literally the cushiest job ever. They've got huge, flat screen TVs, Wi-Fi, a nice gym, expensive coffee machines, and tons of other shit. Every single door is locked by keycard, so the building is extremely secure. Just started shift. Go to floor 2. Notice someone left a light on in the south wing. A lot of lights here are motion activated, but this one just uses a light switch. Happens sometimes, so I just turn it off and go back to doing a quick patrol so I can get back to fucking around on the internet. Finish that up. Eventually the other security guard does a patrol. It's about 2 hours after my shift started, and I go on another patrol to stretch my legs. Go to floor 2, south wing. A motion sensing light is on, right next to the light switch I turned off 2 hours ago, which is still off. The motion sensing lights are only supposed to stay on for 15 minutes. Me and the other guard have been sitting next to each other for the last hour. I go back to the security room to tell the other guard about it and ask if he knows what's up with it. He says that when he was there, the light switch was on, and he turned it off himself. I am 100% sure that I had already turned it off. He says he hasn't seen or heard anything, but since there's no security cameras on floor 2, we have no idea what, if anything, could have activated the light. I decide to go back up to floor 2 to check out again, and I tell the other guard that if he doesn't hear from me soon, to call my cell phone. Our security company never bothered to issue us radios. Go back up to floor 2. The light switch is back in the on position. Motion sensing light still on. At this point I am genuinely concerned. Consider just running downstairs and calling the cops. I figure that if it turns out to be nothing, I look like a huge scaredy cat. Security guard calls police because a light switch was in the wrong position. Decide to check out more of the south wing. I suddenly hear a loud banging noise. I jump a bit and start to freak out. Then I remember that when the AC comes on, it makes a loud banging noise. Calm down and check out the rest of the wing. Only takes another 2 to 3 minutes. No signs of intruders. All doors locked tight. Nothing broken or missing. Look at my watch and see that I've been at this for about 20 minutes now. Start wondering why the other guard has not called me yet. I lean up against an air vent and take out my phone. Start going through my contacts to call him myself. Hang on a second. The air vent isn't blowing any air. Nope. Call the other guard's phone. No answer. Fuck. Lock myself in an office. Call 911. I tell the dispatcher what happened, and he says that the cops are coming. Asks where I am, and I tell him. Asks if the police will be able to get into the building themselves. Shit. All doors are locked. Run through the building, down to the main entrance, and run outside. Wait for the cops outside while still on the phone with 911. Cops get there. I let them in and bring them to the security room. No sign of the other guard at all. The computer that displays the security cameras is turned off. Well, fuck. Give each of the cops one of the spare security cards so that they can search the building. They find no trace of the other guard in the building. His car is still parked in the parking lot. He is still missing to this day. Happened about a year ago. Get security contract to assist rangers in a deep forest. Shift is 6 p.m. to 5 a.m. Pay is shit, but no interaction with normies, so it doesn't bother me. Get to drive a company car, and essentially get the whole forest to myself. Camping was forbidden at this forest. Job set to just report if you see any suspicious persons on site. Cameras are positioned at some parts of the forest, but would not be able to see any trespassers until notified by surveillance. Don't question it, and I drive in circles for a few hours. No phone reception, so can't shitpost on 4chan. Was pissing down by 8 p.m, so visibility was essentially down to about 5 meters. Middle of summer, so it was heavy jungle type rain that caused a lot of mist. About 2 a.m, mist rolling in like a motherfucker and can't see shit. For some reason, I don't seem to give a fuck about it and keep driving. Start to see shiny eyes dotted on the sides of the roads. Would catch the headlight of my car, but looked really low to the ground. Pull over, because I want to see what the fuck it is. Starts to move in the middle of the road. Holy fuck. Start to realize I'm a fucking idiot, and my car is a lot further away than I realized. Doesn't move from the middle of the road. Run back to my car and lock doors. Still there. Happening. Put on high beam lights and slowly roll forward towards the eyes. Looks like a small goblin-sized creature. Realize it's actually a fucking huge owl with its head crooked and turned towards me. Nope. Drive around it and haul ass. See more pairs of eyes on the road as I drive past. Crying in my car. Get to the entrance of the forest and calm myself down. Rest of the shift was okay. Okay, I got another. Keeping an eye on office building. Late night shift again, 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. on a Saturday. No friends, so don't care, and again, avoid normies at normal hours. Watching the cameras to see if there's any X-worthy ghosts floating around. Nothing as usual. There are some staff still on site in the late evening. Around midnight is when the last one will leave the office. Observe woman in one of the hallway cameras, acts like she's being followed, just like Elisa Lam did when she was in the elevator. Same mannerisms and everything. Get spooked seeing this, and decide to investigate in person because inner sense of responsibility tells me to do it. I think it's a beta cope. Before I leave, I observe a good 30 seconds of this woman running around like she is a secret spy agent or some shit. Peering over corners and running fast as fuck for no reason at all. Reconsider going in, but say fuck it and go to the location. Spot her and ask her how the night is going, trying to gauge her response. Says all is good and walks off normally, but was unnatural in the response that she gave, like she was panicked. Thinking I fucked up somehow, but realized maybe she was just bored, or I was just being a moron. I guess she was role-playing or some shit, but it was a little weird. There was no one messing with her. Maybe she knew I would observe, but that was kind of weird for me. I've had a lot of time in the security world, and my favorite gig was an armed patrol security company that I used to work for. We would primarily run security for Section 8 complexes. I was OIC of this in a major US city. The adrenaline rushes are addicting. So, these Section 8 complexes get pretty ominous at night. The freedom of patrol is being able to respond to calls and really stretch your legs during a shift. If one area was calm, you could head out to an area that needed you. Around 2 a.m. Patrolling in complex comprised of multiple 3 to 4 story buildings. Place was so bad, we would roll gun in hand sometimes. Roll around to the rear of this building. Notice one of the boards of a dilapidated building is ajar. We would clear these buildings for vagrants and other illegal activities. Get out of patrol car. Look around the area. It is dead quiet. Figure I'll clear the building. It will give me something to do. Once I get inside, I look around. The regular, once occupied dwellings have signs of previous life. Always wonder who lived inside, what decisions in their life led them here, and what exactly happened that caused their building to be taken over by gangs and then forcefully moved out. I would always find the odd legal letter here and there, the odd children's drawing of their family or the sun and flowers. Round the corner of one unit, and I find something interesting. I find a hole. I figure I can get through there pretty easy, and I am curious on what is on the other side. I am getting drywall all over myself, inhaling the good old asbestos. I'm now a dog on the hunt. I find a series of holes, one leading to the next. The building is pretty big, mind you. You had to have maybe 50 units inside. Honestly having fun in this ghetto labyrinth, still going deeper into the abyss. You would find constant graffiti around. Sometimes it was a menu of services in the area. Sometimes it was a child just screwing around. Figure I had to be getting closer to the end. Shouldn't be that many units left. I would always stop and read what I come across. Sometimes it was intel, but I would always think of myself as a ghetto archaeologist and absorb everything I could. Finally reached the end of this whole journey. The end has a bigger room attached to a smaller one on the side. Clearly, this is the sin room. Find a bunch of smashed phones in one corner, trash littered about. Signs of people that were in this room not too long ago. Then I start to find a lot of bullet casings about the area. Make sure to document one. See the last room I haven't looked into yet. Go into the last room, and that is when I see it. The danger zone bone. Make sure to take a pic when I realize, deep in a labyrinth no one knows I'm in. Radio is out of signal range. I have no backup. I see a bunch of shit in front of me. I think that's blood on the mattress. When I go in for a closer look, I hear a series of footsteps in front of me. Immediately know I'm deep behind jogger lines, and I need to get the fuck out of there. I'm not a cop. I don't give a shit what happened here. I need to get out of here. Book it out of the holes, get back in my car, light a ciggy, and hit the road to calm my nerves. Now I'm not sure if this was an execution, or just someone that was on a period or something. I don't know. I just know I didn't want to stick around and find out. This place had murders at least every month. It was honestly the worst I'd ever been to. It has now been demolished, but I find myself thinking about that ghetto maze from now, and then wondering what true stories happened there. Meant to type this at 7, but whatevers. Be me. Casino security bro. Native run casino. Bad mojo. A couple of people had taken their own life in the hotel. Lots of druggies. Business is dying there. First couple of months in, place is dead. I'm posted outside the main entrance. Hear a weird howling noise. Outside casino is mostly forest. Guest comes outside. There were 5 or so of them inside. Looks at me, and actively getting spooked. Rushes to car and leaves. Supervisor comes out later to relieve me from the post. Hears the howling, smiles, looks around before directly turning to me. Bobcat. The DNR denies there are bobcats up there. This will probably ruin the story, but honestly I think it was a bobcat, and the DNR is just stupid. The DNR up here is a meme. I have one to share. It's not spooky as much as unsettling. Be me, 22-year-old security guard on their last shift. Been working this job since I left the Air Force. Finally getting around to going to college, so getting a new job in the campus library. I basically work a gate guard for some snobby rich neighborhood. Place is honestly the worst. People scam literally everyone they can. 75% of my job is turning away pizza guys who were given bad checks, or letting cops in to serve court orders. Last part of my shift. My replacement was supposed to be here at midnight, but now it's 1:30 midnight. Fuck you, Kyle. Gray Nissan pulls up to my gate. God damn it, I just want to leave. Instantly feel like something is off. Woman is sweating profusely and extremely jumpy. Keeps ducking low or glaring when the occasional cars pass us. Just residents coming home. Ask her if she is okay. She says she's being followed by someone who assaulted her. Immediately tense up and go into high alert. Ask her if they're close. Start looking for anyone or any cars loitering around. She claims that the car that just passed us was the guy. Before I can say anything, he is coming back. It's a totally different car. She says another car is following her, start to realize she was on something. Maybe you should call the policeman. They are all in on it. This is before I knew what gang stalking was. This carries on for a while, as she keeps indicating car after car is a pursuer. She claims that when they stop at a stop sign, that's them passing off their stalking duties to the next car. Finally, her boyfriend shows up. Fucker walks out of the bushes on the neighborhood side. Scares the fuck out of me. He starts trying to calm her down. Gives me the slow, I already know nod before I say anything. Eventually, he's able to get into the car and they drive away. Other guard shows up as my asshole begins to relax. Tell him about it and go home. Next day I get to work to find my boss and a sheriff waiting. They ask me about last night. I answer everything and show them the report I made of the thing. I find out that the boyfriend was stabbed multiple times and was currently in the ICU. Woman was still on the loose. I finish giving my statements, turn in my uniform, shake my boss's hand, and then go home. Officially no longer my problem. I still think about it occasionally. No idea if that guy died, or if they caught that girl, or even if she was on or off something. Like I said, nothing spooky like skinwalkers or anything, but very unsettling. I truly believe if I let her out of the car, she would have attacked me, so I guess I'm just lucky. Be me, working as a guard in a loony bin, walking by a shower. Hear someone inside mumble something. Pound on the giant metal door. Hey man, gotta get out. Had the shower key and had the door open within a few seconds. Nobody inside. I step in to search the shower. Lights are off, so I have nothing but the dim light from outside the shower and my flashlight. Hear someone right next to me mumble. Nope. Step out. Slam the giant steel door. Hear the water turn on inside. Could not have been the door slamming. To turn the shower on, you have to mash a button and hold it for a few seconds. I just walked away. Shit like that was so common, I barely reacted to it. Not exactly security, but I work in shipping. This happened 5 years ago, but it boggles my mind to this day. Be me. Have watch on bridge together with 1AB. Very young man, but responsible and competent. Nothing happens. Boring shit you always get in the Biscay Bay. Everything as well. AB tells me he sees another ship. Look up from console and onto radar. Check AIS and comms. Nothing. I assume it could be from a small pleasure craft. Strange, but not entirely unlikely. Take binoculars and ask him to show me. Both of us look where he spotted the ship for a few minutes, but find nothing. Tell him his mind probably connected some shapes and it is nothing. 10 minutes later, he sees it again. Get kinda rude, but check anyway. Nothing. Assume he is just over-enthusiastic. Ask him to describe the ship. He describes a huge ship with a tall superstructure and actual turrets. Ask him if he consumed alcohol or other drugs because battleships are not used anymore and he is an idiot. Hear a ship's horn. Run to comms because I thought I fucked up and there is a ship nearby. Nothing on my system. Nothing on any system. AB tells me to look port side. A fucking battleship goes past us without even disturbing the water. Maybe 50 meters away from us. Ask chief engineer to come up and look right. He sees it too. My face went. He only tells us to not look at it directly. This happened to me in Korea. I was in the US Army. My unit was running a shooting range. Chilling, waiting by a gate on top of a small mountain. Make sure no idiots walk onto the live M249 range. Escort officer asked me to follow him. Drive over to back gate to guard. Chilling by back gate for a while. Realized I had been alone for over 2 hours. I noticed people walking through some trees to my left, just outside the back gate. Vague outlines of people through the trees. Figure it's local hikers. Notice they are not making noise. I get out of my truck to get a closer look. Still can't hear them. They move into the road about 50 feet away. They are wearing traditional Korean clothes. Almost shipwrecks when they move through the trees. No fucking way. Still no noise. One moves right through the guardrails, clear as day. I'm frozen in place. I go back to my vehicle, and 20 minutes later, our range is closed down. I never told anyone about this. Military guy. Stationed in Montana. Don't want to go into more detail than that. We basically sit around all day at what is essentially an FOB and respond to cameras in remote fenced-in areas if they pick up movement. It is December, and it is Montana, so it is cold as fuck and totally snowed in where we are. Camera out of the side is tripped. Usually, these turn out to be rabbits, or nothing at all. A camera is tripped. It is about 35 minutes driving time. Me and a guy we'll call Bob respond. Sun is down, and there are no lights out there. Wind is hardly blowing, but it's still cold as fuck. It is common for these locations that we go to be on or near civil land, usually farms. As we pull up, I can see cows about 1,000 yards away from the fence. Yeah, that was probably what tripped it. Get out anyway. Procedure it, so walk the fence, just to be safe. Bob stays in the Humvee. Hearing moos in the distance. Make the call that cows trip the alarm. Copy that, come on home. Hear a sheep in the distance. The fuck? I don't know much about farms, but I've never seen one of these places keep cows and sheep together. Ba ba ba. All of the noises sounded exactly the same. Like, no change in pitch or anything, and it was one sheep. I keep walking back, but look around. Don't see shit. We drive about 10 minutes before we get a call to go back. Camera is tripped again. Cows nowhere in sight. This time Bob walks the fence. Can see Bob's flashlight walking the fence. Start hearing the sheep again. Same pitch sounds. Creepy as fuck. Don't see a sheep. We radio that there is a sheep doing it, but we can't see it. Copy that, stand by. We later find out that the farmer had no sheep. They believe a cattle gate was left open, but when we pulled up, it was closed. Place was on little shell territory. I believe in all sorts of crazy shit, man. Part of me thinks that it was a fucking skinwalker. Be working security on several acre estate, bordering a large bayou. Nighttime. My relief is late, so I'm carrying on as normal until he arrives. Be making rounds. 2 buildings on the property are like 400 yards apart. One is down a gravel road, surrounded by trees, with the bayou twisting around it, sort of like a peninsula. Be walking down pitch black path, regretting not being licensed to carry on duty yet. See movement on opposite bank of bayou, out of the corner of my eye. Aim flashlight directly at it. It's like a swirling shadow, circular in shape, and floating above the ground at chest height. It's stationary now. Stare for about 5 seconds, trying to figure out what exactly I'm looking at. Shadow basically implodes on itself, like a black hole closing. Nope. Jog the rest of the route back to guardhouse. Thankfully this was the end of my round on the way back down the road, and my relief got there right after. Fuck whatever that was. Not a security guard, but I'm a US Marine, so security is something we do a lot of. Stationed on Okinawa, mid-2017. On Kadena AFB, waiting for a flight to mainland Japan to do some more training. Flight window was supposed to be for 12 hours, but there was a storm offshore that ended up getting our flight delayed by like a day. There's a building that is kinda like an airport, but it closes after a certain time. Airmen are not happy that a bunch of dirty and soaking Marines are in their airport and tell us that we have to leave when they close. Closing time for the airport. Our chain of command sucked and didn't find an empty building for us, so we ended up sleeping in a grass field right outside of the airport. It's raining. Eventually, some officer, colonel or something, I don't remember, sees us sleeping on the grass and tells our command that we can sleep inside the base feeder if we post 2 guards at a certain gate. Command agrees. I'm new to my unit at this time, so I have a shift at 0200 to 0300. Get woken up at 0145 by the guys on shift. Fuck my life. Me and one of my best friends, another lieutenant corporal, get up and walk to the gate. Gate is by the edge of the airfield and has 1 street lamp right above it. Me, my friend, and the guy that woke us up all walk up to the gate guard. Hey, what's up, man? Looks really pale. Hey, Lance Corporal Anon, what's good? The guard was a brand new guy and was never really nervous when our NCOs would fuck with him, so seeing him like this was kind of unnerving. Before either of us could ask what was wrong, the guy who woke us up asked, "Did you hear it again?" Yeah, man, it seems a lot closer than it did last time. Ask what the fuck was going on. I don't know, man. There's been a lot of rustling in the bushes around, and we kept hearing voices on our shift. Okinawa is a tropical island, so the entire place is a jungle. There's no trees by the airfield or the gate, but the grass is very thick and about 6 feet high. We've seen animals before during our training, like big cats and flying foxes, but usually they get scared of a human with a rifle and leave us alone, but that shit is still scary. The guard had been there alone while his buddy woke me and my friend up, so I assume that he had just kind of got skeeved out being alone. Anyways, the other guys tell us good luck and leave to go back to the theater. My friend and I kind of joke around about it, because seeing that guy nervous was really weird. We quickly get bored and shoot the shit about various porn stars we think are good. Dylan Harper is my favorite, even though her tits look connected, so we call her frog tits. While talking about her, we heard someone scurrying in the bush about 10 feet in front of us. We both go silent and expect to see something. We aim our rifles, we have no ammo, down the street and turn on our lights. We can see that about 5 feet off to the right of the road, the tall grass is shaking, like there is a tall figure moving through it. Normally, if it were a cat, the rustling would not be as vigorous at the top, so we figure it must be something kinda tall. My friend and I look at each other, then back towards the bush. "Hey, you fucking asshole, get out of those bushes and come here," my friend yells. It does not respond. A second later, it bolts off further into the woods and down the road. We think it's weird, but whatever. At 0245, my friend decides to walk down to the theater and wake up the next guys to relieve us. I don't want to be alone, but I let him go so we can both go back to sleep. He leaves. I start getting pretty tired, and I can feel my head bobbing as I drift in and out of sleep. As I start to shut my eyes, I hear the rustling about 6 feet away from me. I'm ready to shit myself. I turn on my light and point it off the road to the right. There's something walking pretty fast out there, but the grass is too thick to see what it is. I can see the bushes moving towards the road. I'm starting to brace myself to see something. All of a sudden, I see the outline of a creature stick its head out and look at my direction. I train my light on it as it jumps forward onto the road. It's a fucking Marine in World War II combat gear. Pick related. His camis are caked in mud. His face is blackened, and he's holding an M1 carbine. I can't fucking believe what I'm looking at. There are holes in his uniform that look like he had been shot through, but there was not any blood. The guy looks my way, then crosses the road, and I can see the bushes start moving again. After a few minutes, I can start to hear footsteps behind me, but I'm too afraid to look. Hear my friend's voice, along with 2 other guys. Relieved that I'm leaving. Must have looked really nervous because my friend asked if I heard anything again. Nodded yes, and just left with my friend. Didn't say anything to him until after we left Okinawa, when he joked around that I looked so weird a few weeks later. This was the second time I had seen something at Kadena AFB, but definitely the worst one. I have not been to Okinawa since, and I'm out now. I think about that moment from time to time and wonder if I really did see that. It didn't seem angry or like it wanted to hurt me or anything. I eventually read up on ghost stories from the place, and there were quite a few articles talking about airmen who had seen other Marines in World War II attire around that gate as well. Be night shift security guard at a museum. Inherently a boring gig. Only real factor that makes a job a challenge of any kind is the size of the place, with 4 above ground floors and a basement. The acoustics were wacky as well, due to the building itself being pretty old, and actually just being 3 older buildings. One of the few claims to fame for the museum was the Egyptian mummy it has on display, still having its heart and brain. One night, decide to bother to check out the mummy room. It's relatively out of the way. There were some taxidermy polar bears and other mounted animals in the room too. The fame was all over the place. Decide to tap on the glass to the mummy box for the heck of it. Hear a fucking high-pitched giggle come from somewhere behind me. I try not to fall and stumble and break any of the displays as I make it out into the most open part of the building while turning on every light switch I could find. Absolutely no sign of any kid or anything else after about an hour of searching. I know for a fact that there's a security video of me dancing around like an idiot in that room, but no one ever brought it up. Walking downstairs, the building I'm in houses tons of very bad people. Building is built like a maze of barred doors with large caged-off rooms for inmates to work out or watch TV. The IRL Michael Myers lives in this building as an example of the type of person we kept in there. So no surprise that, when I saw a shadow figure roaming one of the caged-in rooms from the stairs, I rushed down. Nobody was supposed to be out. I got through the maze of doors and ran to the room where I could look inside. I saw what looked like a humanoid made of TV static. He quickly dissolved from his head to his feet. Nobody saw it but me, but several other people reported the same sort of thing. I mentioned IRL Michael Myers. Name was Tyler. Was in prison for murder, multiple people. Went full schizo in prison. Sent to my facility. Basically the dumpster for prisons across my state for anyone deemed insane or high risk with major mental issues. Tyler had episodes where he forced prison guards and inmates to fight him together. He allegedly took on 8 guards and 12 inmates at one point. They tried killing him, but did not finish the job. Guards had to keep him safe after someone thumped him in the head with a 40mm. Tyler was deemed insane after eating his cellmate's face off. Tyler thought he was a vampire or a werewolf, depending on the day. He was 6'6", 300+ pounds, and one day he got loose. Stupid trainee let him out of a shower. I came around a corner. Tyler is standing there naked. Hey, Tyler, on the wall, man. Let's go home. I'm free. Tyler, it's Officer Orion. Look at me, man. He won't look at me. Fuck. Stupid trainee is screaming into the radio that an inmate is loose. We require backup. Tyler hears the radio. They will have to kill me, but they don't have the silver. Hey, nobody has to. Tyler bolts down the hall and down the stairs. Punches a glass wall of reinforced, riot-proof glass. Cracks it. His hand is fine. I go down to him. Tyler, listen to me. The sun is up. You need to get home. I don't care about the sun. I thought you were a vampire. I am. You better get home. He agrees. I gave him his attention. He literally lets himself into his own cell. Then looks at me dead in the face and says, I was going to eat you. He then proceeded to howl like a wolf for 5 hours and was angry I tricked him. Why I quit, but his recreation time short. Due to low staff, it was me, alone, with 64 lunatics, half of them out of their cells. Waylon and I got into it. Never had an issue with him. No idea why he's so angry. Had been cool, doing well for months. Had him in a doorway, both of us arguing. He is making threats, and I'm telling him to chill out, or get gassed, then whooped by the 8 other dudes I was about to call, our riot team. My partner comes back to help me get him under control, but has to leave right after. Waylon calms down as soon as my partner gets back and separates us. My partner was also fucking massive. Later, Waylon begins apologizing to me. I talk to him. We agree to let things slide. But I find it weird. He said one thing I did not understand. I don't know why I'd do something bad to you. You was always cool with me. I'm sorry. We just had an argument. We had arguments in the past. This was nothing new. He was good for a while, but he and I had gotten into it many times when I was new. Fast forward to next week. Waylon attempts to kill my friend. Administration told my friend he had to let Waylon out and not handcuff him. Waylon produced a shank and slashed at my buddy's throat. He had been planning this for months to kill a guard so he would be sent back to regular prison. He was going to do that to me. Last one, and it is purely X tier. B in Suicide Central. B walking the rows during my rounds. It's about 2 in the morning. Showers ahead. These are more like the showers in the movies. Single stalls though, not a huge room. See feet under a stall door. They raise up. I think someone is hiding. Bull rush the stall door. Kick it open, fully expecting a scuffle with some schizo. Nobody. Partner saw the whole thing. Asks if I'm going crazy too. Tell him what I saw. Yeah. It happens sometimes. Second week on the job, by the way.